Why Comstice Mobile Agent? There's no desktop PC required. First of all, there are many roles in the organization who may not have access to the call center application, the desktop PCs, and mobile agent app can help those users to log in as an agent, get reported as an agent, answer the call as an agent, and do lots of things as an agent using their mobile device or tablets. Any phone line can be used. I will demonstrate using my cell phone line if it lets me to do it. It seems to be a bit busy today, but you can use Jabber iPhone client, Jabber iPad client. If you can use Cisco IP phone, you can use your analog phone on the at home. Any phone line can be used to answer the customer inquiries. So we are not bound to VoIP-based soft phones. In fact, I personally would recommend customers to use their GSM line where available because of the quality better voice quality. Location-based agent assignment, how we can assign the agents based on their location. Obviously, because we are eliminating the front line, we are eliminating other intermediaries, there's going to be a shorter handle time for the direct customer inquiries. And the mobile agent app works in the background as well. Obviously, imagine someone like a medical on-call medical consultant or technical support engineer. They won't be keeping their mobile app active all the time. They can just lock their screen and put their phone to their pocket, but they will still retain their agent state, and they will be able to answer the calls. And then we will talk about the Comstice Mobility Server, how it can optimize the communication with the Cisco Finesse. As you probably know, Cisco Finesse is very particular about the keep alives and the agent availability. And then the Cisco competitive advantage. One of the best features of Cisco is its partner community, and we are proud to be part of Cisco partner community. And no other vendor via Genesys offers this solution like Cisco does. They've got the APIs, plugins, but rarely organizations sit down and create a solution like this. Even though it looks like an app, it took a lot of work in the development cycle. So without further ado, I will launch my mobile app. So this is my daughter in the background, and this is my Comstice Agent app. So obviously, Agent app, when you first download it, it doesn't know which Finesse server to communicate. It doesn't. It needs to be told where to go, which Finesse to interact. And to do that, we use in the settings we use the company codes. So as you can see, there's a company code that I've got right now, and when I click Get, it retrieves all the license information, which also has the encrypted settings. So I know which server to go. The second, and if you're in UCCE, obviously this was a UCCX one. If you're in UCCE, it also offers call by call and nailed up. As you probably know, in UCCE, we are using the mobile agent feature. In UCCX, we are using the extend and connect feature to utilize the mobile agent. So let's log in as a UCCE agent. First of all, let's see how will that work. So I've got my settings, and I am logged in. At the same time, let me just also log in as a Finesse supervisor here. This is my supervisor application. It shouldn't confuse you. It's just our desktop client application. We don't do any gadgets or widgets on the web interface. This is a dedicated client application. So let me just log in as a supervisor here. So let's see. Okay, so let's have a look at the mobile agent. First of all, it's got the side menu option, which gives us the call logs. I can see my call logs, and when I expand it, I can see the call variables. I can see that some of the variables have some additional features, like account number has been flagged as the CRM identifier. You can use any web-based CRM platform, Salesforce, Agile CRM, or any Sugar CRM, etc. And then agent can reach out to customers' details from the built-in browser. And then we've got the team states. As you can see, I've got my team member. If I would be a supervisor, which I'll show you on the UCCX side, I can also set the other team member to ready, not ready. For example, here I am the supervisor, and I can set this guy ready and not ready. And then we've got the built-in browser, as I mentioned. This takes me to the CRM screen. I'm not logged in, but we'll have a look. The alerts are, I'll explain the map after we take a call. Alerts are the messages that are broadcasted to the team members by the supervisor or dynamically. So if there are some dynamically created rules in the Comstice wallboard, you can receive those alerts. And each alert has priority level 1, 2, 3, which is red, amber, and green. And they also appear as a screen pop. And then we've got the barcode scanner. So you can scan if there is any barcode scanner required, and you can take the customers. For example, if you're doing some sort of a field job, you can take the customer's signature for the approval, and then you can use that on your ticket. Agent has personal contact option. She can create her personal contacts. Also, there's access to the corporate directory, CUCM corporate directory, as well as the Finesse phone books. Without further ado, let me just make myself ready. And then you can also set yourself ready if you want. And then I'll make myself ready, and let me just make a quick call and see how it looks. As I said, it doesn't have to be, the app doesn't have to be active, but for the sake of seeing what it looks like, as you can see, as soon as the call alerts, I can see the I can see the details while even it's alerting. Obviously, the Finesse pushes the data before. Let me just mute this. Finesse pushes the data before the mobile network delivers the call. So there's a slight, like 1 second difference. First, we receive the alerting, and we receive the details. And you can even, as an agent, you can even look at the call variables, and you can decide not to take the call if that's what you were permitted to do so. So when you're in talking state, you've got the hold, transfer, consult, etc. If you tap on the CRM icon on the account number, it takes you to the customer page. And if I would be logged in, we would be able to see the customer's details, because it is important to access the customer's details when you receive a call from the queue. Otherwise, sometimes there's no point answering the call if you can't see their details. So we can update the call variables. As you can see, there are edit icons. There is this view on the map feature. Let's tap on that, and it shows me the customer's details on the map. In case I need to drive to the customer, imagine I'm an insurance broker, I need to go and see the customer for some reason, I can see their detail. And then if I tap on this directions icon, it offers me a map, one of the maps that I might have in my phone, and then it gives me the directions from my location to the customer's location. Let's go back to the app again. So this again can be used for various reasons. The way we capture the customer's location is you can offer things like on the IVR, if you want assistance on your home, on your office, or alternative address, press 1, press 2 type of option you can use. Some customers, they use latitude and longitude information, so they come here and they say, please enter your latitude and longitude to the IVR, so 51 start, 27 start, 29 start, etc. That can be an option, or you can put a front line if you want. Again, ASR TTS you can use, but I'm not a big fan of ASR TTS. So let's end this call. Let's log in as a supervisor. So to be able to log out, obviously I need to go to not ready state first, because Finesse doesn't like me being ready state, and then I'll say end of shift, and this is my UCCE. The UCCE feature uses the UCCE feature uses the Cisco Mobile Agent LCP RCP kind of configuration. UCCX uses the Cisco Extend and Connect. So let's have a look at, for example, UCCX. So in UCCX, I've got an agent who is actually a supervisor as well. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, this is not ready state. Let me just log out this guy as well. And then log back in as a UCCX agent. Here I'm a supervisor as well, as I mentioned, so I can see my team member. If I tap on the team member, I can set her ready. As you can see, she became ready. Let me show you here. And when I tap on not ready, she turns to not ready. So if you have supervisor feature set, you can also see the supervisor functionality. In terms of, so we've got a few questions there. Let's have a look at the questions themselves. How the mobile agent works in patchy internet. The mobile agent has this Comstice mobility server, which retains the keep alive. So imagine that there is a lack of communication between the mobile app and the Finesse, and Finesse doesn't like lack of communication, I can tell you that. Keep alives must be there. If it can't receive a keep alive response within 90 seconds, it logs the agent out, sorry, it sets the agent to not ready. And we don't want that. So Comstice mobility server retains the keep alives, even though your mobile internet might not be able to communicate. Another question there was whether we need Cisco Expressway. So if you think about Finesse, we are using Finesse APIs, which are HTTP and HTTPS mostly, and then we are using obviously XMPP. They don't necessarily need Expressway functionality. Expressway obviously offers great features for Jabber, to be able to use Jabber outside your network, but you don't necessarily need Expressway to be able to use this application. You can, however, use network address translation. I know that even though VPN, mobile VPN is available, many businesses we see more and more organizations, they kind of don't want to have mobile VPN. So you can use network address translation with some powerful DDoS functionality, and you can access from the public internet. There was another question: how would you deploy this application for a multi-tenant solution? As I mentioned, if we go out, if we log out, the company code is the identifier. So company code can be, there can be separate company codes for separate organizations. Imagine you've got different finesse clusters, even though you're under the same UCCE umbrella, you might have different finesse clusters for various reasons, size, location, etc. Using the separate company codes, you can utilize the mobile app, you can utilize your licenses, and you can help mobile app to communicate with the correct finesse cluster. Imagine you've got one US and Canada, one Asia Pac, using separate company codes. Agents can log in to the respective finesse clusters in the respective continents. Voice recording is another question. How do we do the voice recording? Obviously, compliance requires voice recording. Because this is using external connect, this is receiving the call from the gateway. You can use voice recording as you are using today. So the call still goes through the CUCM CTI ports, CTI remote device in the UCCX case. So voice recording is possible. You need to again do it in the central, either on the gateway level, or if you are using cube-based voice recording, you can use the same recording functionality as you're using today. The licensing is based on the number of agents. It's a per agent licensing, and there's also a fee for the mobility server. Mobility server is not a must, but we highly recommend it because if you experience any patchy internet, even though you're in campus network, you can experience like going to not ready state by finesse, and the agent might not recognize that they've been put into the not ready, and they might think that they are ready, but no call is coming. But in fact, because of the patchy internet, they went to the not ready. So in order to avoid these things, Comstice Mobility Server is recommended. Like all of our Comstice servers, Comstice Mobility Server is a Linux-based solution. It can work as a high availability option as well. We have a demo credential. So let's have a look at, so we mentioned monitoring agent locations. We mentioned company colors on the logos. We did this for a few customers in the US, and we now added that into our build. So in the next version, we will have customizable, configurable login pages and the colors. Okay, so and then I will show you the trial license information. So you will be able to create your own trial licenses hopefully by the end of March from our website, but up until that point, up until we have the new website available, you can send a trial license request to info@comstice.com, or if you use UCC and UCCX dCloud, you can utilize these company codes. Be warned that you might need to do your configuration. Not every single pod might have the dCloud features available. Sorry, the mobile agent features available. And for the UCCX, I know UCC is very well documented about a remote agent. For the UCCX, we've got a configuration guide that you can follow and configure your own UCCX environment. It's always better to test in your own environment. So I would highly recommend to send an email to info@comstice, and we will create the trial license for you. How the application reacts on a finesse failover event. as you know, Finesse cluster works as a pair, and if it stops communicating with one cluster, one Finesse server, it tries the other one, and after that, if there is a common failover, if both are not accessible, it keeps trying, and if there is kind of a patch internet, etc., Comstice mobility server always takes over that keep aliving and finding the active Finesse role. So phone doesn't need to try. In fact, if you are using Cisco, sorry, if you are using Apple iPhone, after 20 minutes, your network connection will be blocked by iOS operating system. So without the Comstice mobility server, agent will be set to the not ready state. So as soon as the call comes in and you activate the app, then agent will retrieve all the data. That's not going to be any problem. But it's important to know that your battery will not be drained by these keep alives. So the communication will be done by the mobility server. Yeah, the failover will work based on the Finesse failover guidelines. In fact, it's a good question because it's part of our IBT testing. We are in the process of adding mobile agent into Solution Plus, Cisco Solution Plus. So you will be able to order mobile agent through Cisco ordering books, and that might be something that you might want to look at. So timelines for that is April, I think mid-April, end of April. Let me show you also the location monitoring. So that's something that we can have a quick look at. So one of the things that you can see here is that's my location, and if I go to ready state, I can see that my settings are updated here, and I can see myself here over there. And if I go to not ready state, they can see it from there. So this location monitoring and location-based agent allocation is quite interesting, so that supervisors and the team leaders can also manually locate agents, as well as the system dynamically, CVP or UCCE or UCCX can dynamically pick the agents and go from there. Any other questions? Just check. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So one last question we had was how to access the caller CRM data. You can access the caller CRM data by using an identifier. So either the calling number or the account number is used as an identifier, and you can use that call variable, particular call variable, and combine with the CRM URL, and no custom development required. It integrates with any web-based CRM platform without any coding required, using the licensing features that we've got. Okay, we are 32 past. So if you have any other questions in the future, please get in touch from info@comstice.com. This video and the presentation will also be available, and we would like to hear your stories and your use cases. There are lots of new ideas coming because this is a new concept. There are lots of customers coming with and the partners coming with new ideas. The public sector is one of them. Retail is heavily using this. Finance, insurance, and healthcare. Lots of healthcare companies under Comstice umbrella, they started to use this. They always start with 10, 20 agents, and then they grow. And we are in the growth stage right now. So any new ideas or prospect customers, please do get in touch with us. And hopefully you found it interesting. And thanks very much for your interest. Thank you.